great feature.
It's also a record breaker. The Cayenne F diesel, like the one that I've sat in. Oh my God, man. This is a Porsche Cayenne, and when I drive it, it feels to me like a reminder that British people are not as refined as we think. We like to look over the pond at America and laugh at their lack of torsion control and their massive trucks and their huge engines, but when we're asked to produce an SUV GTI, we take a 2-ton Range Rover and stick a big engine in it. That to me doesn't feel like a particularly refined approach. And it's clear that the continental Europeans agree. Granted, the Cayenne also weighs over 2 tons, but if the Range Rover were a cricket bat, I feel the Cayenne would be a golf club. Both can be used to whack things, but this does it in a much more civilized way.
But civility aside, this thing has nearly 400 bhp and will do 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds. Wow, the speed alone is enough to leave any diesel Range Rover in its tracks, but it is genuinely remarkable how much Porsche have made this feel like a sports car. I have air suspension with 5 settings, 5, but there's none of that typical SUV body roll. It feels so planted through the corners. You feel hunkered down. Only the Germans could do this.
So it drives very well. It looks fantastic, and I've been told it's very impressive off-road, which is something I'm about to show you. I know what you're thinking. Wow, there's no way a Range Rover could have done that.
Another thing I like are these grab handles here and here. And I can only assume it's for when you know you push too hard and you're bracing for impact. A crash is imminent. Better not do that. Then or somebody doing that, I'm sure I'd get arrested pretty quick.
The one I'm in even comes with the Sports Chrono package, which does have some incredible mechanical tweaks, but because I'm a child, my favourite part is the spinny little clock that goes round and round.
Look at that! Look at that going round. There's a very simple metric for me on cool features in cars. Does it bring out my inner child? Does it make me feel like a little boy? If yes, it's a great feature.
And there are some other great features. I mean, the engine is incredible. It's a really nice thing to drive. And inside, it's as pretty as modern German things can be, but it still feels clinical despite having more buttons than a haberdashery. Its ride height is typical of a 4x4, but its driving position is a little bit more like a cockpit than an armchair. Despite this, it just feels a little bit fancier than its German counterparts. This one even has special look-at-me headrests. There are also various drive modes, and I have to say,
this is genuinely one of the first cars that I've been in where suspension settings make a noticeable and substantial difference to the drive. When you're in Sport Plus, it feels like a track-ready GT3 RS. Maybe not that extreme, but while bouncing around over the road, you feel every bump. Thankfully, when you put it in comfort, it's noticeably different. You get a kind of grand touring 4x4, which is what you need if you're going to compete with the Range Rovers of the world. So it's very good to drive. It's very comfortable. It's very fast. And thankfully, the Germans overcame the ugly duckling exterior that haunted the first generation. I think the 2016 to 2018 Cayenne was the golden era for the Cayenne. I think the new Cayennes look too coupe-like. It's sometimes hard to distinguish between those and a Macan. If you find a nice 2016 version with big alloys, nice trim, it's a fantastic looking car. It's also a record breaker. The Cayenne S diesel, like the one that I've sat in 2017 set the Guinness World Record for the heaviest aircraft ever pulled by a car. It pulled an Airbus A380 42 meters.
Those things weigh 285 tons.
This thing is a beast. Obviously, in real terms, that means very little, apart from if you happen to be near an Airbus that needs a bump start, you'll be able to help. But the engineering marvel that this car is
cannot be overstated. It's beautiful to drive, it's as pretty as can be, it's capable off-road, it's wonderful on-road, and only the Germans at Porsche could make something so big feel so small. I think ignoring the supercar brands, this might just be the best fast 4x4 that money can buy.
You're given the choice between this and a Range Rover? Well, it's golf or cricket. Both aren't real sports and both aren't really sports cars, but if I had to choose, I'd be taking this to the golf.